Eddie Hearn, and Simon's alluded to it. Eddie Hearn has declared that the Middle East want to stage in one night Tyson Fury against Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder on the same night in December in what would be a mega deal. Could be worth up to $400 million US. I mean, enough from me. This was Eddie talking to IFL TV.
I will be going out next week to meet people to discuss AJ's fight in December. There is definitely conversations that have taken place of plans where people would like to host Fury against Usyk and AJ against Wilder on the same night. It's going to cost a lot of money, but would be epic. And we will have those conversations. I'll wrap in the July situation now. Our focus is to get that mega fight in December over the line. Right now, he's not in camp for a July fight. We're focusing on getting the December fight over the line, which is a fight of huge proportion.
My God, I mean, if this happens, this would be something else. Fury, Usyk and Joshua Wilder, probably in Saudi on the same night, worth $400 million to stage the lot. Fury's trainer Malik Scott saying, yeah, the talk is true. Gareth A Davies is with Alex and myself, is it?
Yeah, I think there's some truth in it. I mean, you know, there has been talk for a very long time from Prince Khalid of Saudi Arabia that they are looking to make the biggest fights. And if anyone, and I would call this almost the impossible, you know, getting those four heavyweights, Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk, Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua to fight on the same card.
Money talks.
Maybe not on the same card, but on the same night. But if anyone can make the impossible possible, it's the Saudis. It is probably, to get them all together, worth about £300 million, you know, because they are all going to earn probably 50 million each, or thereabouts.
It's doable,
and then you've got
it?
a final.
It's doable, Alex. It's doable, Gareth. When you
call
talk
me
money,
Alex
you talk the Saudis. It's doable.
It is doable, but it's the practicalities of, clearly, as Malik Scott's explained, Deontay Wilder's trainer, he's actually in on the talk, so he said there's veracity in this. I'm sitting with Deontay while the Saudis are speaking to him. They started speaking to Deontay Wilder at the Tommy Fury Jake Paul fight a couple of months back. It's a fight that makes sense if Anthony Joshua does want to sit out till December. That algorithm fits, or that formulae fits, in terms of Joshua saying he's not going to fight till December. And then it also fits with Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk not being able to get the fight at Wembley Stadium over the line for what would have been, is it next Saturday, a week on Saturday. So we always thought we were headed to the Middle East. If you think about it, 2.5 years ago, when Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury were in a 2-fight deal, when it went sideways and Fury had to fight Deontay Wilder for the third time because the arbitration case in the United States with the retired American judge, that fight was on there then as
so if this is going to happen, Fury Usyk on the same night as Joshua Wilder, what would we pay on pay-per-view?
I reckon we'd be going to American prices, wouldn't we? We'd be paying £100 for the pay-per-view, something like that.
Would you pay that, Alex?
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. You know,
for what
I'm
is
saying
an
99 quid,
night.
you know.
It's an historic night. I would pay it in an instant.
Yeah, you would go for that.
Oh my God. Two massive fights, and presumably the winner of one fight's the winner of the other.
Well, that's what they would do. It's not a tournament as such, is it? But they're probably signing these guys up with a view to making. I think ultimately they'll do it over 3 nights.
So therefore, you pay £100 for all 3 nights.
No, yeah, but no. I think what they'll do eventually is they'll have Fury, and if they do it, I say if they do it, that's the caveat. Fury and Usyk on one night. Joshua and Wilder on another night, and then the final on another night. You know, but this is over 4 or 5 months in my view. It's not over. Look, you can sell it as a marketable ploy to do the 2 biggest heavyweight fights in the world on one night. But if you are going to do that, it's going to be £100 pay.
They owe it to do it, to get it done. They owe it to the boxing public.
It would be brilliant
because they failed to bring us Fury Joshua. They failed to bring us Fury Usyk. So they owe it to the boxing public to do it, don't they?
Yeah. They failed to do it, as we've been over many times, based on, you know, too much money, greed, ego, and timing. And hopefully, when enough money's on the table, the egos disappear. And then the timing is right, and that's what you've got if this happens.
But do the egos disappear? How do they dish out the money? Will it be an even split between the 4 fighters? Because there's still going to be people like Tyson Fury who's going to be saying, actually, I deserve more, I'm the bigger name. So does it really take the egos out of the equation?
No, I think there's. I said 50 million each just now as a rough figure, but if you were going to do it, clearly the current world champions are going to get a bigger slice of the pie to begin with. They're going to be paid a little more.
Okay.
And who's the most marketable?
Okay, Gareth A Davies, Mr. Boxing expert. Who wins? Fury, Usyk?
I think Fury wins on points after a titanic struggle with Usyk.
Okay. Who wins? Joshua, Wilder?
I think Wilder in about 4 rounds.
So we'd have Fury, Wilder again.
Yeah, what Fury
Wilder
4?
4.
Yeah.
I mean, gee, so honestly,
and maybe the 2 losers have Usyk Joshua 3.
Yeah.
I think the key is that there's a stalemate going on now in the chess game that is the power broking inside the heavyweight or around the heavyweight division, and the board is stale. And given what happened at the weekend as well with Joyce, he is out of the picture certainly at the moment, and is facing a very, very difficult rematch against Southpaw Zhile Zhang, the Big Bang Zhang, because he hasn't moved his head his whole career, and he's got to learn to move his head, maybe get a bit heavier again, and take on a guy that battered his right eye into submission, if you like, on Saturday night. The travesty for Joyce in many ways, but a huge moment for boxing in China. We might see one of the heavyweight fights take place in Beijing now as well.
Okay.
Would you be there?
I would very much like to be. No doubt you've been there, have you?
I have been to Beijing. I lived there for a year, actually. Yeah.
You sound like Simon Jordan. I've lived there.
I'm
there. Vegas, I've lived there. All right.
I don't think I sound like Simon Jordan in the slightest.
Good to see you this morning, Gareth A. We shall await to see if this comes about.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.